Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Invicta Specs with yours truly. And today, this is the Friday after Thanksgiving, and I wanted to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. Hope everyone had a wonderful time with friends and family, and a time to kind of reflect on how crazy this year has been, but you know, there's still things to be thankful for. And with that, we're going to talk about the Blue Label Chaos. So that is going to be today's watch. And of course, shout out right here for Trap and his channel. And with that, let's get over to the bench and take a look. Hey everybody, so here we have the Invicta Chaos Blue Label. This is model 30120. This is a 50 millimeter. It's a 20 atmosphere, 200 meter, 660 feet water resistance. It does have the flame fusion crystal on here. The movement is the Ronda Z60, which takes the 395 battery. About 4-year battery life, and it has a standard deviation of -10 to +20 seconds per month. And with that, let's kind of just, overall just quick look at the dial, and let's go back here to the back of it in the class. And as you've seen on some of the other videos, and this is one of the distinctions, one, it's a scissor deployment, which I love. I believe it's a much superior class. But as you see, this one has not been blued like the rest of the watch. This is something that I just notice from time to time. Some watches this is blued and some is not. Don't know exactly the reason behind it, just kind of make a note of it. And of course here on the back, we've got all of the Invicta Reserve, Blue Label, all the information, Swiss movement, chronograph, all of your water resistance, the model number, and all of that. Of course, you can see the gold pins running through on the bracelet, which I believe is one of the more unique things about this. From the old Imperius line, this was moved over, but the linkage and hinge system this thing has, I believe, with the way this thing can articulate so much. This watch is extremely comfortable, I think, for a lot of different wrist sizes. It accommodates down, and it also goes out, and also this lug has a nice even taper to it. Unlike the Venoms, I do love a Venom, and a Venom fits me, but I know for a lot of folks that's not the case. Of course, we've got our screw down crown and screw down function pushers. So we have our A button up here and the B button down here. So we'll just kind of undo those. Start the chronograph. You can see the sweep hand is down here. It doesn't have a 1/10 of a second, so the only thing we have is a 30-minute increment. So obviously if it went all the way around, it would start to increment the time. We will stop and then reset, and of course there we have. If for some reason, I haven't done this in quite a while, most Z60s and a lot of the Ronda movements, if for some reason this was not lined up, you pull it out to the second, you push down both, and it will sweep. And I'll show you what happens. And I'm hitting the A button to cycle this through, which is going to be similar to what may happen. I've seen this a few times. Like, let's say, okay, we're going to push this back in. All right, so now we're back in normal operation. And what would happen is sometimes the second hand or the sweep hand gets out of sync, so it doesn't line back up with the 12 o'clock, as you see here. So what you do is, like I say, you pull this out to 2, you press and hold down, it'll sweep, and then you're just going to increment your A button until it lines back up. And then once you do that, then you press in your crown, and then once you start, then everything is all synced back up, and then you stop, and then we see the reset, and that's the reset functionality here. And of course, you know, if we pull it out to 1, we could change the date. There we go, see, 28. So that would change the date, and of course change the time here, push it back in. Of course, these are, for the water resistance, these are all screw downs. So we'll screw this one, put this guy back down here, and just finger tight. I mean, you don't have to crank on these things. It's just it's got plenty of seals inside, but this kind of just helps squeeze those to activate it more. And of course, we've got the unidirectional bezel here. And we've got the different finishes, so you can see sort of like you got a high polish here and high polish on the bracelet, but then you've got some a more matted down the middle. Of course, you've got the difference you can see on the bezel with the gear teeth, and then this is more of a satiny look, and then the numbers themselves are back to gloss or polish. Just I love when they really combine a lot of these features together. I think it makes it a unique overall look. Instead of just everything kind of blending in, you really get a sense of all the different lines and the process of making it. I think it just shows up in the details like that. So with that, we'll set her down here for a second. And let's head over to the microscope. And here we have the chaos under the microscope. Of course, we're looking at the 12 o'clock right here. You can see the gold and the luminescent markers in between here. Of course, you've got your date window that you can see opened up under here. You got your Invicta Reserve and your chronograph indication, water resistance 200 meters. You've got your constant running seconds over here, and of course you've got your date window down here with your 30-minute chronograph timer, and of course your day of the week over here. We have the bezel, which is unidirectional as we saw, and kind of a machined industrial finish, not the high polish. Of course, let's go into the links right here. You can really see the gold and the blue, how it plays together. Try and get some light in there to really see it. It's probably one of the most amazing details about, I believe, the chaos and the bracelet design, with the gold links running through it, and the taper on here, which we've seen earlier. Of course, we've got the reserve crown on or the reserve logo on the crown, I should say. And of course, this is a screw down crown and everything. Of course, on the back we've got all of the Invicta Reserve information, blue label, and all of that. So we go back here, let me get refocused here, and of course you can see a lot of skeletonization of this dial with like this clear light blue cover to it, just kind of a different look. And then around here you've got all of your gold with just the highlights of the tritonite and all that, and of course you got it here on your hour and minute hand, and this is your chronograph hand with the Invicta Reserve right here. So just kind of an overall look at this, just very unique dial. I love the kind of the simplicity of it, with kind of the not really skeletonized, but kind of a open view of some of the mechanism and everything about it. So with that, let's head back to the bench and finish this. And here we are back from the microscope. So let's throw some calipers on this thing and let's get the measuring. So here we have, trying to miss the crown right there. So I get 50.2, and on the thickness I get 16.7. I'm going to measure out to these screws right here, so I get 39.9, and this does taper from a 35 down to 26. The links, I'm going to go on these lower ones, 3.9, and then on the span, let's go with right in the middle of these screws as best I can. So I get 55.3 on there. So with that, we'll grab the scales and take a look at this thing. So we're in ounces. So we're at 10.3 ounces. And we'll go into grams. And we have 293 grams. So, you know, a decent weight to it. I wouldn't consider it, you know, a heavy watch, but it's definitely something that you're going to notice on your wrist, which I kind of like that sensation. You know, you get a real feel for it. And I dropped it out of shot, my bad. So from that perspective, let me throw it on my wrist real quick. Like I say, I have a 7-inch wrist. This one's probably a little loose on me right now, but just the way the bracelet kind of lays in here, it's very comfortable, very easy to wear. Let's see if I can get the tilt here. You can get a wide, I believe you can get a wide range of wrists to wear this. It's very comfortable, and I mean, it can bump into you if it slides down, but it's not so obtrusive here that it's, you know, just wearing you out. So with that, we'll set this guy down, and wanted to give a shout out to Instagram and YouTube friends. And we'll give a shout out to Smitten by Invicta on Instagram, Invicta Watches and Women's Fashion, and of course YouTube sensations Trap Vision 3D and the Lifestyle page, talking about all things collecting and family, and of course Tommy Big Time, focusing on bracelet sizing and battery changes and everything Invicta. D&Q, chronicling travel and food and fun. Tony Woe, Christian rapper, and his music and life perspective. And as always, we do the vast majority of our shopping on ShopHQ and InvictaStores.com. And with that, we will, I'll join you here in a second to close out the video, and hope you enjoyed it. And just wanted to give some final thoughts, to say thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and some of the information that I shared. If you did and you haven't subscribed, please click the link over here to subscribe. I've also included a couple links over here of other playlists to take a look at when you have a chance. And with that, I hope you enjoy your Invicta watches, and hope to see you next time on Invicta Specs. Take care.